Hey neighbors, I've never grown potatoes in containers before, so today you and I are both gonna find out what kind of harvest we get from these container potatoes. What I do is I just kind of wait for the foliage to start dying off and then I harvest it at that point. One thing I will say is potatoes are pretty forgiving when it comes to when you harvest them. So technically, I probably could have harvested these a couple weeks ago, but they're really forgiving if you don't harvest them when they need to be harvested. But there's a couple of things you need to think about. If you live in a very rainy place or you're getting a lot of rain in general, or your potatoes are hooked up to drip irrigation for the rest of your garden that you can't shut off, then it might not be the best idea for you to leave them in the ground. You might want to harvest them as soon as they're ready to be harvested. But as long as you keep them dry and relatively cool and out of the sun, so the potatoes themselves aren't exposed to the sun, then you can leave them in here for 2 to 3 weeks after they're ready to be harvested. They're going to stay nice underneath that soil. First up, we've got some russets. Dump this whole thing right here in this wheelbarrow. Try not to spill it all over the place, huh? There we go, perfect. Oh, potato. Some more small potatoes. Well, this isn't looking very good, is it? Ooh, I got one. Another potato, another one there. So far we got quite a few small potatoes, but nothing big yet. But those small potatoes are actually really, really good. I'll eat those all day. Oh, here we go. Got another one. We're just not getting the size. We're getting quite a few small ones. So far, the russets did not produce like I would have hoped they would. Not even close. Oh, there we go. Got another one. That's a disappointment. This is probably the biggest one I found. Not quite, but close. That's a bummer. Either way, I'm gonna post this video. I think it's important for especially people that are creating content to be honest and to talk about their successes and their failures. And so far, that potato bin is a failure. All right, now we're gonna get going on the Yukon Golds. I'm really hoping that these did better than the russets. We're about to find out. Let's see what we have here. Got a potato there. Got some worms. Worms are making their way up into the tote. And a potato. Another potato. Oh, okay, here we go. Now I'm not nearly as bummed. Okay, this is more fun. I like this. Much, much more potatoes. So that's a good learning experience. Now I know that I probably shouldn't do the russets again. Yukon Gold are probably the better way to go. Oh yeah, there's so many more Yukon Golds. Much happier with that now. There we go. Now we're starting to see some more potatoes. There we go. Okay, I think that'll be good for now. This one feels the heaviest of the bunch, but that doesn't mean anything. Oh, look at this. A nice little cluster of potatoes here. That's what I'm talking about. If I could just get this cluster on every plant that I put in there, I think I'd be happy. They're not big. That's not a good sign. That one is rotting, and so is this one. That one too. So we had some rain the other day and I was hoping these were protected enough to not, no. I was hoping these were protected enough to not really get hit too hard with that rain, but I think I was wrong. This is what I was talking about. When you're doing potatoes, you can keep them in the ground for quite a while if they're dry, but if they get wet like these did, that's why this felt so heavy. This must have been just maybe sitting off the house and just the right way that it was getting all the rain. Oh no. There's a good one. Okay, we've got a few good ones here. Not very big, but not rotten either. Oh, that's a nice one. Oh, that's a spider. That's something you probably didn't know about me. Spiders, they just give me the heebie-jeebies. I can't do it. I understand that they're great for the garden and that you want them, but that's the only place I want them is the garden. Definitely not the harvest I was hoping for, but it's better than nothing. Let's check out everything we got over there. All right, so here's the final haul. We got a few decent ones, nothing too crazy. We'll have a lot of really good, just small, kind of cook in the oven potatoes. We got a few meals out of this. Well, growing potatoes in containers is definitely different than growing potatoes in the ground. But you know what? I'm still gonna post this video because sometimes you just gotta stay positive. We still got, I'm not gonna say a decent harvest because it wasn't a decent harvest. We still got a harvest. And this gives me the opportunity to ask you, if you have any experience growing potatoes in containers and you did it successfully and better than I was able to this year, jump down in the comments. Let me know, tips and tricks, maybe what I can do better. I don't know, maybe it seemed, I definitely thought those totes were completely dry, but they weren't. So maybe I was just watering them too much. Could be a soil issue, nutrient issue, could be a whole list of things. So if you've got any experience with it, definitely go down in the comments, let me know. Either way, I'm gonna do what I normally do. I'm gonna jump into the depths of YouTube and talk to some other people that have had success doing it. But you know what? Sometimes gardening isn't perfect. Sometimes you get no harvest at all. Sometimes all your plants die. It just kind of comes with the gig, and you take the ups with the downs. Either way, I'm grateful for what we got. Now, if you got any kind of value out of this video, or you just enjoyed watching it in general, go down and hit the subscribe button. It definitely means a lot, and it really helps us out. And then head over and watch this video right here, where I can at least show you that I know how to grow something. I'll see you over there.